Today I'd like to discuss religious land use and institutionalized personal acts. Here in Clarksville, since I arrived, the first place I went was to the local Catholic church. Because I was too late for the service, some people asked me some questions, one of which was, do I want to convert to being a Catholic? The answer was no. I said, no sir, I am a Satanist. But I was curious about your service, because I've been to a Catholic church, I've been to Baptist churches, Apostolic churches, and so forth and so forth. However, I have never been to a Roman Catholic. And I was curious, is it similar to the regular Catholics? Now, I didn't know. So, about 3 days later, about the following day, two women showed up here in the dooryard and basically asked me a bunch of weird questions, which I thought were kind of odd. One of which was, is it true I was here to sacrifice black babies? I told them no. And I referred to them to the 11 satanic rules of the earth. Rule number 9, harm no children. Second of all, I referred them to verse 10 as well, or rule 10, which was harm no non-human animals unless attacked or for food. And I went on to a few other things. I compared Christianity's point of view. I compared the pagan point of view, which is do what thy will. If you go to the Wiccan or witches point of view, you go to pagans, their highest law is do what thy will, but first do no harm. Or the other way it's pronounced is, if it does no harm, do what thy will. Second of all, the Christianity, which was the 10 Commandments, do not murder. Do not commit murder. Jesus said it in Matthew 19, when consorting with the rich young ruler. Deuteronomy 5, Exodus chapter 20. You can even go into, the book of Hebrews as well, that discuss it as well. Now, one of which is religious land use and institutionalized personal acts that protect against religious discrimination. Basically what this means is you do not look down on another. Now, this minister at this local Catholic church here in Clarksville, Texas, went out the very next day and took out a, how should I put this, it was a, where is it? Here it is. Basically, it was a Red River County Constable authorization for criminal trespass warning. Basically, stating that I cannot step foot on the premises or any premises owned by that church. Since then, I have been called a racist. I have been called a number of different things. I have been banned from multiple different establishments. My business has been rejected at every turn. Not only here in Clarksville, but also in Paris, Texas, which is about 28 miles away from here. Basically, this is called discrimination, religious discrimination, and it falls underneath religious land use and institutionalized personal acts. If you go underneath this in the amendments, you scroll down to equal terms. Number 1, No government shall impose or implement a land use regulation or in a manner that treats a religious assembly or installation on less than equal terms with a non-religious assembly or institution. Number 2, non-discrimination. No government shall impose or implement a land use regulation that discriminates against any assembly or institution on the basis of religion or religious denomination rather. Exclusions and limits. Number 3, no government shall impose or implement a land use regulation that A, totally excludes religious assemblies from a jurisdiction, or B, unreasonably limits religions, assemblies, or structures with a jurisdiction. Okay, basically what this means is what this town is doing is wrong. It means that they are being discriminating myself, and not just Satanists, it's pagans and everything else in between. My brother and I and his wife, we went to Pat's Pizza here for the first time. The next day, the place was closed down. And it wasn't just that. I mean, there's these people, this church, I'm not accusing the pastor of anything. I'm just saying that I find it ironically that after I went to this church, all this stuff came down about me being racist, about that I was here to sacrifice black babies, the whole kit and caboodle, all because I introduced myself as a fellow minister wanting to open up a counseling business and possibly a church to go along with it. Okay? And since then, there's been threat against the property of which I live, along with my brother and his wife. Now, we've contacted the Department of Justice, and we've contacted the American Civil Liberties Union here in Texas. And we've notified them. We've contacted our local congressman's office and was referred to his local office, which is in Texarkana, I believe. And basically with orders that if we have any more problems with this town or this county, to contact that office. We were told that this is not the first complaint about this office, about this county. A couple of weeks ago, my brother and I went into an antique store and was putting a couple of things on hold so that we can come back in about 2 or 3 days with money to pay for it. I was in the middle of writing my phone number down. A woman came up, escorted us out, and asked us never to come back. Locked the door behind us. Turned out she was the local mayor. Last night, I was at McDonald's here in town and found out that they were hiring. Went in today with my brother, and basically we heard 3 people talking about how they were getting ready to they were hiring some new people. Went up, talked to the store manager. She lied right to our face, stating, "We're not hiring. Don't know who told you that. But you just keep checking in." Well, you know what? I've dealt with a lot of shit from this county. I've had to deal with we've had to deal with the threat of somebody burning down our house because somebody went to the Paris Police Department and the Paris Police Department went to Clarksville PD. Now, they came to us. Well, this was a week before Halloween. Let's see, this is January. It's been about 2.5 months, and not one person is in jail. Not one person has been charged with a criminal intent to do anything. And then this happened today with McDonald's. So, I contacted a few news networks and let them know. I also plan on calling tomorrow the local senator's or governor's office, and I plan on calling the Department of Justice again, along with the American Civil Liberties Union. So, you wanted the Satanist, you got it. Because I'm fighting back with the law. I'm not intimidated and I am not afraid of you. Old money or not, from what I'm told. This county has basically rejected a lot of things. It's a dying county. You got a lot of people that are suffering, and personally I think that having a counseling agency here for the people, or a church that's here for the people and not for themselves, is a good thing. So, you want to push me? Go ahead. I'm pushing back. I've had enough. For those of you who are getting into religions, I hope this has been an eye-opener and not only an intellectual, but an enlightening experience. Hail Satan. Have a good day.